Well, hey there, everyone. This is Chuck G Violin, and I am back with another design session here. This is my Shinnecock Hills, so to speak. We are going for kind of a Shinnecock Hills feel here. And how successful we're being so far, well, I don't know, but we'll see what we have to see anyway. I'm going to be working on hole number 12 today. That's over here somewhere. Where are you at? There you are. And I kind of like the way this looks. I had an idea on this hole, but we're going to probably save that idea for 13, which looks exactly like 12. So we're actually gonna do this real quick. And we're actually that's okay. So, I'm gonna give this a playthrough. I'm gonna get rid of these measurement things from my 12th hole, or 11th hole rather, excuse me. Enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I haven't decided on a name for it yet, so if you want to give me some suggestions, I'm happy to look at those in the comments. But let's go ahead and play. I had some grass originally planted down. I've changed textures, and I've changed everything about like the overall look of this golf course a few times. I'm trying to concentrate on just getting the holes down. We're going to go number 4. But, still working on it, and we got wind into, so, this hole's set at an angle, so you could, if you leave one out to the right, you could get through the fairway here. And, my golfing game is not very good right now, so we're going to see balls getting hit all over the place. That's what she said. And there we are. So greens are very fast right now. We're at 213. I'm designing at that speed for the time being in order to make greens as, severe as I can while still being fair. I like to design at a very fast speed that probably nobody will ever play this golf course at, and then dial it back when it comes time to publish. So in this wind, I can go ahead and hit driver here. Actually, that's going to be fine. There's just a little sliver of fairway here if you want to go ahead and get aggressive. This is kind of a short to medium length par 5, and that might be in the bunk. Oh, no. Pin's way back, so that is quite satisfactory, actually. Thank you very much. We'll tap that in for the birdie with big wings and move on. A couple of water hazards on this golf course. One here on the 3rd, and then there's another one that impacts, I think it's 16 and 17. We are not anywhere near that yet. This is a very awkward, tricky shot. This doesn't seem to break as much as I thought. Well, I sure did run it by the hole, though, didn't I? Here's our first par 3 of the day. Kind of a nice little area you can hit the ball if you're accurate. The ball will stay in this little section of the green. Oh, yeah. I'll take that. I played some society rounds just a little while ago, and really, it wasn't good. So, anytime I get something anywhere near the hole, I'm pretty happy. So this hole has this kind of, the sandy waste area here, which you can carry in this wind, which is advisable because you want to be over here. Anything over here, you bring those deep bunkers into play. So we'll go ahead and blast one since we can carry all that in this wind. And then that shortens this hole considerably. You know, still thinking about what I want to do with, you know, the areas away from the hole, all this brown. I've changed this. This has been green. It's been brown. It's been, you know, everything else in between. So this putt is pretty crazy, actually. I'm going to miss, yeah. But when I turn the green speeds down, this will just be a, you know, a sharply breaking putt. So I'm not too worried about that. This is a big one here. Par 4, 510-ish. That'll be an awkward lie, but see what we can do with it. That's going left. Huge green here, which you kind of want to have for a hole that's, you know, you're hitting a mid to long iron into for your second shot. And then we'll go ahead and putt one, see if it is anywhere near the hole, and it definitely is. Thank you very much. Sip of coffee for that. Here's another shortish one. 3-wood is absolutely fine here. I could have probably hit driver, actually, for the same price. Because I'm so far back, I can't see the green. Oh, yeah, that took a hop. That greenery over there looked a lot better when I had grass all around it, so it will look better again. So, easy. Yeah, I got a little crazy with the green elevation there. Oh, turn. You can see I put some trees around the outside. Those are going to be adjusted. There won't be very many, if any, trees on the interior of the golf course. So in this lighting, actually, that kind of looks like, you know, snow or something. It's not. So here's our Redan hole, which I need to work on a little bit because I'm not getting the result I like. So obviously the play is to hit something into the middle of the green and let it trundle down to the hole. But as you can see, when you do that, let's hit that again. Come here. I'll go ahead and hit what the caddy has given me. This could be okay. So yeah, the object of the game is to get something then to come down here. I would prefer that it also worked its way toward the front of the green, and I'm going to have to, like I said, I'm going to rework this green a little bit, but that's what a Redan hole is. For those of you who don't know, it's one of the template holes, of which there will be a couple on this golf course. The first hole, you could kind of consider it to be a cape hole, you know, where you can choose how much of the hole to bite off. I don't like this. This looks silly, but oh well. We'll fix that. Number 9 is just, you know, you could run out of fairway here if you really get into one, so I want to be a little careful. Sit. Thank you. I thought about making 9 just like the 9th at Schinnecock, where it's like, you know, you're hitting like way up the hole, up the hill, which is, you know, I guess you could consider it an Alps hole, sort of. Another one of the templates. This is one where you kind of want to carry this bunker. In this wind, I don't know that you can, but I'll get right over the corner of it because the fairway slopes down to this bunker, as you can see. So you don't want to get in there. It's a long par 5, of which there are 2 on the back 9. There's only 1 on the front. And that is not a good leave, I can tell you that right now. I'm going to try something. I don't usually do this because I'm not good at hitting the shot, as you can see. I'm having trouble, you know, with the playing aspect of this game, of the 25 version. I don't dislike it. I don't think it sucks. It's hard. You know, it's harder than it used to be. So we are still in the learning process. Sorry, I hit the mic there. Ooh, dog hair on the mic. Sorry. Okay. This is a long one here. No, that's still too much club, I think. Ooh, not that far left, buddy. Yeah, because everything comes down here. And then we'll decide what to do with hole the 12th over here. Oh, geez, oh, Pete's. Come on. Fine. Alrighty, so it's about 400. I had thought about making 11 hole. Not the 11th hole, but 11, or I like to call it Levan, like after the song, the Elton John song, but it's one of my favorite templates. So 11 hole is where you have a diagonal hazard. So a large bunker, a river, a creek or something that's going to come across like this. And then a player can choose to carry it, an easier shot over here, which will leave usually a blind shot into the green, or a more difficult shot over here, which leaves an open shot at the green, and then obviously the choice to lay back of the hazard, which leaves a longer shot. So it's a good, risk reward gets used a lot, but it's a good, design of a hole where you have 4 spots to hit the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can be ranked in difficulty of the tee shot 1 through 4. And if you pull off the more, quote unquote heroic shot and carry whatever the hazard is, now you're over here and you're basically, you have a pitch up and down to make a birdie. So, that's something that, that we're going to try and do. I don't know that I want to do it on this hole because of the terrain here. So I'm kind of up a little bit here. Let's see. So we're coming down. Yeah, we're down about this many. So I don't know that I like that design for this hole. I like it better for this hole because it's flatter. So I think I might do that. Usually 11 is on a shorter par 4, so that's why this one is perfect. I may alter the terrain a bit. I prefer to respect the terrain. But that's something we say, I do a lot of City Skylines play. That's something we talk about in City Skylines when you're building a city. You want to respect the terrain and build into the terrain rather than just flattening everything and building a city. So I'm actually going to have to move 13. I have so many dogleg lefts on this golf course. And there are too many, really. Okay, that's a little better. So I'm going to pop up this land a little bit so this hole is flatter. I did like the elevation the way that it was, to where you're hitting down after your tee shot. But I have a couple of holes like that already. Number 7 and number 3 are both like that. You're hitting uphill. This kind of remains uphill, but 7 definitely, where you at? There you are. You hit up the hill and then down the hill. And I'm trying as best I can not to duplicate hole designs. Oh, this is a dogleg, and that's a left, so this is a right. Okay. Sorry for all the zooming. I know people have complained about that before. Oops. Okay, so here. Okay, so let's measure this out. We're going to go here, and we'll have our hazard across, so that we want about a 290 carry. for the hazard, we'll just kind of do this, because this will be it's going to be bunkers. And then, so if you're over here, that's the best shot in. Let's say you carry it, 320-ish. You're only 100 yards. Let's say you get over here. We're going to put some elevation over here that is going to be in the way. And then let's make that elevation just blend a little better into the terrain. There we go. Because then when we have 15, which is the shortest par 4 on the course, 359, I'm going to shorten that up a little more because it does play uphill. 16 is kind of like a cape hole. You're going to decide how much water to bite off here. This water is kind of a placeholder. I'm going to mess with that later. 17 is a short par 3, right on the water again. I'm going to work on that. And then 18 is going to be your big uphill, kind of a la number 9 at Schinnecock. So it's a funny word to say, I know. But and then clubhouse will be up here. So very cool. Right. So let's get back to work on number 12. We don't have very good sight lines here, so let's get the tee up a little bit. And then we'll put the forward tees over here. Yeah, I'm missing the sun though, so I don't have good visibility. Let's fix that. Kind of come back this way a little. There we go. So, yeah, we definitely need to do some more. Shoot. Just kind of get this all up a little bit better. And that'll raise up that 15th tee, a skosh. Which is nice because then it'll play a little bit more downhill, which is kind of what I want. So that maybe players can roll something on down there and get near the green. Okay. I'm going to do what I normally don't do, which is draw in my bunkers first. I thought about making this kind of sandy waste area, but we're going to do it with bunkers. That's a pretty normal shape for a bunker. I wish we could have a thinner spline to do this with, because then I could get the kind of bunker shapes that I want, which are, which I would prefer to be a little bit more, not jagged, but just a little bit more random looking than, the pretty boy bunkers, as I call them here. I could do this with brushes, where I could then do this. Let's see if this works. But my worry is that I then am messing up. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let's get rid of that one too. We're going to keep the bunkers as is for now. I'm going to set this one back a little bit. Okay, so. And then this needs to be flattened out because that's a mighty whack from back here to get something over here. I mean, you're going to need to hit the ball a mile. Kind of of in that direction. And then, how do I want to make this fairway? I'm going to move this bunker. Because I want more of a true diagonal here, so that when I draw my fairway, we're going to move this guy over in this area. So essentially these three bunkers all serve a purpose. If you want to lay up short of them, you know, now you're 150 yards in, there's nothing wrong with that. But this bunker guards that layup shot, and so does this one. This one, not so much. This one and this one both guard the longer shot over into this area. So, you know, which is kind of, you know, in my opinion anyway, is how the Levan should work.
Levan wears his war wound like a crown.
I like to make my tee boxes a little angled like this, just for fun. I mean, why else, right? And then we'll put a tee up here. Or do we want one up there? We do. Okay. Very good. I forgot my secondary surface. I don't love the way that looks. There's not a good light rough texture for this. I'm going to still mess around with it a little bit. There we go. That's better. And then we want this to kind of come like this. Beautiful. So that we have good line of sight here. Okay. Where are you at? All right. Just like so. And then, like I said, we'll put some stuff over here that'll make sure that this remains separated. I've already put the mounding for this hole. That's a big, long hole, too. God, man. So much Steve Carell wanting to happen right now. Cool. All right, let's see how it plays, because all that talk and strategy and measuring means nothing if it doesn't play well. My voice is a little not so great today. I just got home from a 2-day trip to play violin. Yeah, so like you could, you know, over here, this is going to be the play that most people do. And I will angle this so that it feeds down. Yeah. That mostly is okay. And I'm going to cut this fairway in here some more. Like so. So that you know, on most of the 11 holes that I've looked at, there's mounding or something over here that prevents a player from, you know, having full unobstructed view of the green. Let's see if that works. Can't see these bunkers too well right now. You will see them eventually. Oh, I left that out to the right a little bit. I'm going to get a favorable kick here, but it's still... Okay, so we're going to add, I think, either another bunker or move the ones that we've got, just to make sure this plays well. I've been thinking about this hole for a long time because, as I said, this is one of my favorite templates. I like the way this kind of plays. And we can do this. So now if you're kind of down here, that's in the way. And then just to be even more of a dick, I'm gonna tilt the green to run away from this direction. So we're gonna move this fairway in some more so that I can get the bunkers a little closer to the green. Ugh, I'm hungry again. Why did I start doing this if I'm so friggin' hungry? Well, good news is I'm not gonna spend more than maybe an hour working on this, so there we go. Fairway, yes, please. Very good, very good, very respectable. All right, Mr. Weird Bunker, you can go closer now. Actually, we're going to keep you down here. We'll move this one. All right, I dig it. I do want to try something else out off the tee first, before I get too busy down there at the green. I want to do the play over here. Now, I need to fix that giant mound right there. That's stupid, and I don't want it. Maybe it's not stupid, but yeah, see, now $1.64, makes the hole a little bit, well, not a little bit, but very different. All right, so before I do anything else, let's fix this because I hate the way that it looks. I mean, we don't want it to be a cakewalk. There should be something to disincentivize, that is a word, I'm pretty sure, people from trying to hit the heroic shot, so to speak. All right, green working on time. All right, let's go. Not that high. Let's go back here too. Yes, we do. Cool. Let's make sure we are. And then I'll decide where the highest part of the bunker should be, and I think it should be right here in the middle. It's not working out that way, but... yeah, that sucks out loud if you hit it over here. I might have to just get this down a little bit. Yep. Let's get my stuff in my bunkers. I have tried to be a little bit more fine with this dirt texture. surprised I'm not redrawing the fairway, to be honest with you. Because a little surprised I got it on the first try. Usually a fairway this complicated in terms of hazards and things, I have to draw 7, 8, 9 times. Okay, I've never drawn a fairway 9 times. I have drawn a fairway like 5 or 6 times. A few times. Just want to get that's actually okay. I want to then make this just a little smaller so it doesn't creep up the side of the thing a little bit. I don't mind if it comes up just a little bit, but oops. That's not there. Let's get you. Okay, this one's okay. Maybe this could come down just a skosh. I'm also going to be making a cities video in the next day or two. In City Skylines, we've gotten a bunch of new creator packs and DLCs and all kinds of really good stuff. You know, it started with the ports. The ports and the bridges. And then we had the bikes. And now we've gotten a creator pack with some really nice assets in it. With some skyscrapers and other, and some like different kind of a supply chain thing, and really, really liking it. Hey, easy there, killer. I don't want to go too much. Okay. I don't like too many greens to be falling off the back like this one started to be like. All right, so what do we do over here on 11? Where are you at? 11. There you are. Because I want to alter my hole locations. I think I put the number 1 pin up front. Yeah, I did. So with 12, we will put the number 1 pin. I'll put him all the way in the back. Short hole, make number 1 pin, one of the toughest of the hole locations. We'll kind of do this here like so. Maybe put 3 here. And then 4 here. Pin to right, kind of right there. And then we'll get him here. And again, if you're hitting it, from down here, that's really kind of awkward. Oops, I forgot to do that bunker here. Do that real quick. I have to cut this way further inside than originally thought. Just as I changed the textures around, things got a little weird. That actually turned out pretty well. Let's smooth it and then move a couple of things. Why aren't you giving me what I want? Because I moved the bunker, not the other thing. Yeah. I don't want tons and tons of dirt, but I gotta have some. No, that's the bunker. Come here, you. didn't smooth it. I smoothed the... Yeah, smoothed the bunker again. Tee-hee. Oh, come on. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Still haven't decided if I'm going to put any grass in these bunkers yet. We will see. All right. Let us see what we see. I'm going to try the harder shot that's going to leave me in a weird place. And then we'll try. So we're going to try to hit something up there. And I left it out to the right a little. And this is going to funnel down into this area. And that is a very difficult shot because I had to do a little partial here that I pushed. And this winds up out there. And you wind up with this. So I'm happy with the design of this hole. I like that it's a shorter hole, but could be made a longer hole, which may give you an easier shot. Oops. Come on. There we go. Now let's make some fun bunkers. Let's start up here. This whole area kind of needs flattening. Cool. Let's get a little more up here. I'm thinking about moving the tees up a little bit to make this a more realistic shot over here. Because I don't think anyone's going to do this shot. I'm going to further incentivize that by doing this. Making it so that this is almost, we're going to just kind of punch bowl this a little bit. So, I mean, the play really is right about to here. If you can carry it, that's why I want to move the tees up just a little bit. Because I'm not seeing, that a guy can hit it this far. That's 302 yards, so let's move the tees up just a little. Oops. Move them over here just a little bit. All right, let's try hole location number 2. Let's see. Make sure this is flat. Yeah. So, I mean, now there really is an opportunity to hit something over here. And that kind of works out perfectly. I mean, yeah, it's an awkward distance, but, I think I'm going to move the tees back. That was a little too easy. Oh, dear. Stay up. Thank you. This is a much longer golf hole. And this one will play uphill on the tee shot because too bad. All right. Let's get rid of these. All right, number 2 hole location was okay, so let us do hole location numero tres. I bet you that S was really loud. Okay, and then I got to do the rest of the bunkers. So let's say you're aiming over there and you pull it. I mean, you still have an opportunity to get in the fairway, which I did. Ooh, that's going to be too far left, and that is gonzo. Okay. Let's try that again. Well, it's definitely not left. The area around the hole is pretty flat. All right, we're going to take a second look at that hole location. Maybe just bump the elevation up around it a little more. But first, we have another bunker to make here. Obviously, the bunker's already made, but excellent. I'll draw in my dirt here in a minute. I want to play number 4. And when we play the 4th one, I always add some wind in the default location in the designer anyway, which is north. That's not necessarily the same. Let's say I want to hit 3 wood over here. Oh, the wind. Okay, let's rethink that for a second. Let's see what happens if we hit driver over that middle bunker. And what happens is exactly what I wanted. Gotta go, gotta go. It didn't. Okay, so now let's adjust our green a little bit. Where's number 3? This is 3. This was not quite breaky enough. Not achy breaky enough for me. That's better. We get a little bit of orange in there. Let's fix that. Cool. I dig it. I'm going to do some fairway sculpting here in a second. So let's play number 4 again and change the wind direction to east. See what goes on here. So we're still wind into a little bit. I think right here is a good play. Oh, I pulled it. That stinks. It stinks. Anyone remember that show, The Critic? With John Lovitz as the title character. The crossover episode with The Critic and The Simpsons is one of my favorite Simpsons episodes. It's the film festival episode where Hans Moleman wins by getting hit in the groin with a football. And get up. Charles. I guess I need to put a full swing on that. That's a much better swing. There we go. Cool. I like it. I like it. So, we need some humps and bumps in our fairway. Yeah, that light rough looks a little bit better. Ooh. That's what happens if you hook it. Gotta go a little. Sit, 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 sit. Well, I mean, there are worse places to be than that on this hole. And is that going to stay? Nope. Perfect. Because there's plenty of room if you hit a good shot in here. But if you hit it out of the rough and you can't spin it, nope. Okay. We have a winner. All right, so that's 6 and 7. So let's get our. Make sure I can see the fairway. Blends in a lot with this rough, which I do like. That's 11. Hole 11 is a big one. It's 250 to the back hole location. I hit a little easy 3-wood in here. I'll make sure, because you can't mess around with the front left because nothing will stay there. Pretty good shot with the 3-wood. Let's see if this goes in. Come on. Come on. Oh. So like I said, we're working on hole 12. We got hole 12 finished up, so we've got a few holes left. Oh, God bless America. Stay in the fairway, doofus. So let's try something different. I'm going to try hitting 3-wood. Kind of in this area. And see. No, that's going to remain down there in the low. And that's fine. It is what it is. At least I could spin it. That's too far. Sit easy, easy. Oh. Gosh, that's too bad that would happen to a golfer on a course that I designed. Ha ha ha. Alrighty. I'm going to wrap it up here, everyone. But I do appreciate you watching. Again, like, subscribe, comment. And we'll see you all next time. Thanks so much for being here. Take it easy.